You are a soldier in the middle of World War II. Your name is Ben. Not that it matters, you are in the middle of a battle. You are ordered to attack a town called Haussmann, which is in Nazi-occupied Poland. You are a German soldier, part of the SS. But you think the Nazis are going down, and if you join them you might save thousands of Jews from the death camps. You are attacked by a German officer for supposedly being a traitor. And you fight back, killing him and several other German soldiers. After the battle you are captured by the Soviet army and taken to a POW camp in Russia. You convince the Soviet troops you are a communist supporter forced into the army by the German army, and you try and join the Red Army as a double agent to help them fight the Nazis, but they find out and you are tortured by the Soviets for information. You give up as much as you know, but it isn't much, as the Nazis never trusted you. To begin with, you are then sent to a POW camp in Germany, where you meet other captured American soldiers, including a black man called Samuel, who was captured at a camp in Belgium. Luckily, the pain doesn't last long, as the US attack the camp, and you all escape in a military truck. Also, you thought Samuel was shot on the way out after tripping and falling off the truck, but you never know for sure, as the next thing you know you are in the custody of the Nazis, and you are in a POW camp called Camp Lucky. As the name suggests, you are lucky, as other camps have already killed their POWs in case of a rescue operation. You are taken to a secret location and are treated well. You even manage to find a few of the stolen goods you had taken from the train robbery. You feel like a hero and tell everyone you are in fact a survivor of a train robbery. You are also informed that a group of German soldiers have been killed and you are suspects. Turns out Camp Lucky was lucky, as this camp wasn't actually a part of the German Reich, just in the region. The Germans put a cordon around the area and shot everyone they found trying to escape, including American soldiers. They also killed everyone they suspected of being an American to cover their tracks. However, Camp Lucky actually belonged to a German officer conspiring against the Nazis, who turned a blind eye to the crimes of the Reich. He was actually having an affair with an African-American woman who was a nurse at the camp. When the Nazis found out, they killed the officer and the woman. His son took over the camp and hated the Reich ever since, even plotting to kill Hitler, and was never found out, as he was a ghost in the area. You are eventually sent back to the US in the middle of 1943 after the war starts to end. We now switch over to the German officer's son back in Germany, who we find out is called Hans. You meet him in a bar and he tells you he plans on killing Hitler for the death of his father. However, the Americans want him alive, so you and him must work alone. You travel to Germany, where you find Hans and he tells you his plan. He wants you to act as a double agent and join the Germans so you can help them kill Hitler. However, killing Hitler is no easy task, as the SS guard him 24/7, and even if you kill them, the guards will just be replaced. Hans has a plan. He wants you to pretend to be a loyal Nazi and befriend anyone and everyone in Hitler's inner circle. You are to pretend to be a young idealistic man and join any Nazi group you come across in the hopes of finding the key members of the group that are close to Hitler. However, the Americans are not happy with this and treat you like a Nazi if you are seen with them. So Hans has another idea. Hans tells you he has a special pair of wire cutters that will sever your head from your body should you be caught. You come up with the idea to go guns blazing into the Reichstag with armor and milligram 42s in hopes of killing him. However, Hans says that the American army will be waiting for you and you will most likely be killed. After some thinking, you decide to help Hans. Some Soviet drunks walk in, and Hans tells you to start cutting their heads off. You start cutting and killing people, including a man in a suit and a woman in a dress. You also kill several guards. The German army arrive and start shooting at you and Hans. You decide to start taking people with you as you lead the way in killing everyone in the building. You start killing people left, right, and center with your guns. Hans is shot in the arm with a Kar-98K. And you both run for the door. The American army opens fire with milligram 42s and several other guns and shoot at the Germans, killing them in seconds. You shoot a Nazi in the back of the head and jump out the door, killing several more as you go. American soldiers pursue you, but you shoot them. Hans is MIA. And you kill everyone that is left and escape. You find yourself in the street killing Nazis and guards as you go. You reach the Reichstag and find it empty of Nazis. You shoot down several guards in the courtyard as you head inside. However, the Soviets have already arrived, and it is a war in the Reichstag. The Soviets shoot at the Germans and ignore your presence, so you don't alert them, and shoot the Germans with the Soviets. You head to the German president's house and find him dead in his study. You kill everyone in the house and move to the chancellery where Hitler is staying. You burst in and Hitler is about to shoot himself before a Soviet stops him and takes him hostage. You want to shoot him for Hans, but decide not to, as the Soviets would kill you if you did. You move to a room full of documents about the war and Hitler's plan to take over the world. You decide to read them to see if they have any clues on where Hans is. You find a list of high-ranking officers meeting with Hitler in the morning. You kill them all and check the bodies for Hans. You find him in his SS uniform and hiding in the bathtub. You also found some documents about his father and how Hitler admired him before the betrayal. You burn the documents and check the Soviet guards that were stationed outside of the room. You kill them and head to the meeting room to find several people waiting for you. These people are Soviet head officers who tell you to take a seat. They reward you for the killing of the Nazis and the Soviet guards. You take the seat, and one of the men tells you that you can leave Germany now, and that they will find Hans for you, and that you can come visit anytime. They also arrange a meeting with Joseph Stalin about joining head of command of the Red Army. You head to the bar to have a few drinks with your new allies. The war is overdue. The end. You killed the Nazis and Stalin was happy with your work. Or so you thought. You find a German outpost in Stalingrad and tell the Red Army to attack. You go into the city with the Soviets to see the Red Army in action. You see a large group of German soldiers surrender, and a Soviet soldier shoots them. A German soldier manages to shoot the Soviet soldier, and another German shoots the sergeant major, so the rest of the soldiers open fire on the Soviets. The Soviets turn and start firing back at the Germans with heavy machine guns. You shoot multiple Germans and are a fearless leader. You order the Soviet army to push forward and you charge the Germans, stabbing one of them through the chest with your sword and shooting another one with your pistol. You are a one-man killing machine. You charge and kill a group of 5 German soldiers, then stab a German soldier to death with your sword. You run forward, killing every German you see, until you reach the German defense line, and you find a group of infantrymen preparing to fight. Your army overpowers theirs and you order another charge, one final charge to victory. As you run forward, killing every German you see. You reach the infantrymen and kill them too. You reach the trench and start killing the Germans in the trench. You pick up a German assault rifle and start shooting all the Germans you see with your Soviet troops. You reach the trench and start shooting the Germans. You see a group of men trying to escape the trench, and you run up and shoot them with your assault rifle. You are victorious as the Soviet march starts playing through the town speakers. You reach the center of the town and find a large group of people. A large man in a bowler hat walks among the people. You recognize him as Adolf Hitler. You decide to kill him. You wonder how he survived Soviet captivity. And you decide to kill him and avenge Hans. You reach the large group of people and find a large open area. You take cover behind a large concrete wall and take aim at the Führer. You wonder why he's alive again, and why he is in Stalingrad. And you decide to put a bullet into his head. You press the button and a bullet flies, true, hitting the Führer right in the forehead. You wait a moment and the people around him move no more. Turns out Hitler's a zombie and the people were zombies too. You wait a moment more and the crowd begins to walk towards you. You aim your gun again and shoot the leader in the head, killing him and the rest of the crowd. However, Hitler is a super zombie and just disappears into a fire. You try to run, but you are surrounded. You order your men to attack, and you are overrun. Your Soviet soldiers fight their hardest, but die, and you manage to flee with only 2 remaining. You hide in a bar with them and get to know them. Before one of them gets captured and shot. You hear gunfire outside and realize one is dead. You spend the next 2 days slowly dying from hunger. The Soviet soldiers you hide with die and you are left with 3 options. You can either die at the hands of the zombies or become one of them. Or kill them all or try with your buddy. To kill them all. You decide to kill them all like a true Soviet, and call in an airstrike with the air force you have left. You manage to kill them all and become a zombie killer. You live your days killing the zombies. Until you meet a familiar face. It's Adolf Hitler again. You decide to kill him and finish this nightmare, but it's not easy. Hitler still has control of his zombie SS, and uses them with extreme precision and effectiveness. You win eventually, but get hit with a few bullets. In the process, you nearly die, but a Soviet medic helps you. And you make it out of the city. You die out in the forest, but you become one of the Walking Dead. You try to kill all the Soviet soldiers, but they kill you first. Also, you thought they managed to revive you from zombification. And you start to rampage and kill everyone who is against the Soviet Union. You start in the Soviet Union and kill everyone until the Americans decide to use a nuclear weapon in the heart of the city. You nearly die again, but the nuke is too far away to kill. You pick up a rocket launcher and shoot down the plane that dropped it. You hit your target, and the plane comes crashing down. You check up on the pilot and find him alive. You can either kill him or take him captive. You decide to take him captive and launch a nuke into Washington, killing all of Washington, including the president, and destroying America. After that, you head off into the Far East and kill everyone you find until the Soviets manage to find you and reward you for annihilating their enemy. They give you a medal and tell you you are a hero. You spend the rest of your days drinking vodka and eating caviar and living it up with your new Soviet comrades in Moscow. The world turns to communism. And you live out your days in Russia, until you die of natural causes in your sleep. We switch back to Hans, who has survived and is now 90. He has heard of your success. He wishes you well in the afterlife. And says he hopes you find it. Your story ends here. Do you wish to continue? No, this is the end. You think on the story. It's got a happy ending. You think about how you killed everyone who didn't support the new communist Soviet Union and you become a hero. Take a turn.